What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Mid-Level Media channel, your hub for everything physical media entertainment. I am Ken, here today to show off my entire Arrow video collection. So the last time that I did this, I think, was back in March or February of this year. I did this along with like Criterions and some other labels that I had in the collection. So it wasn't an entire video dedicated to Arrow because I think back then I only had 20 titles. I now own close to 60 Arrow video titles. Of course, I've been in a partnership with them through most of this year, so I get a lot of their stuff in for review. So I thought I would just do a kind of overall collection video, just giving you my thoughts on some of these releases and just talking about Arrow video because I love them so much. They've honestly become, like, Scream Factory's great and I love Scream Factory too, but they've honestly become probably my favorite boutique Blu-ray distributor over this past year. I just think they do stellar work, and we're going to talk about all of these awesome releases here in a second. But before I do that, guys, I want to ask, if you are not yet a subscriber of the Mid-Level Media channel, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button for more great content. I do all kinds of stuff on this channel, mostly centered around the world of physical media, collection hauls like this, Blu-ray 4K review videos, Blu-ray hunting videos, just all kinds of stuff, all kinds of physical media content every single day. So definitely hit the subscribe button. Also, be sure to hit the like button and comment down below, guys, as much as you want, as many times as you want. If you have any thoughts on these movies that I cover here in my collection, let me know in that comment section below. And also leave me some recommendations for some Arrow video titles if you want to do that as well. I'm always looking for some great recommendations. I am in the process of filming a bunch of videos for my peak season at work, so I'm probably working in the middle of that right now when I put this up. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. That's why I'm kind of doing a lot of collection videos. I just did the Dollar Tree one, which was really fun. So definitely go check that out if you haven't already. So yeah, so just filming some collection videos, stocking up on some cool videos to put out for you guys. And this was a really fun idea that I had to kind of just go back over my Arrow titles because I love Arrow and I love talking about the Arrow releases. So, and also, like, a lot of these I've watched this year, and some of them when I went over them, you know, in collection videos and stuff like that, I hadn't got a chance to like fully talk about. So I have these split up in like single releases, big box set releases, steelbooks, and then like multi-film pack sets, which I said I have 60 titles or 60 sets in this collection, but some of those sets like have 8 movies in them. So there's really like maybe almost 100 movies to talk about here. But let's get into the first one. This is the very first Arrow video title that I ever bought back in 2016, and it may or may not be, quite possibly my first boutique Blu-ray, and that is House. So the story with this one is I grew up watching this film as a kid. This one and House 2. I watched House 3 and 4, but they were never some of my favorites. House 1 and House 2 are ones I remember rewatching when I was a kid. I think I like House 2 a little bit more for whatever reason. I don't own that one though, but I was just thinking one day, I was like, I wonder if they have a Blu-ray release of House. I was like, yeah, they probably still have like DVD or that. But it was before I really knew anything about like the Blu-ray scene, boutique Blu-rays, all that kind of stuff, other than just going to Walmart and buying a Blu-ray off the shelf. It was before I really got into collecting. So I looked up House on Amazon and I discovered this. I'm like, Arrow Video. I'm like, what is that? I've never heard of, you know, what's an Arrow Video? Is it like a foreign release or whatever? I mean, it is a UK-based company, but they do have domestic releases like this as well. So I ordered it, and I just kind of fell in love with this company and just all the special features that they offer with these sets, and I just thought it was the coolest thing that they actually had House. So this is the first boutique Blu-ray I ever ordered, and then after that, I think I found Scream Factory at Walmart, and then I got into the Criterions from Barnes & Noble, and it just kind of snowballed from there, and I just kind of got into more of the boutique labels and stuff. But House is a really fun movie. It was far less scary than I remembered it being when I watched it back when I was a kid. It's almost like a horror comedy, really, and you got the guy from Cheers right there, Norm from Cheers. So that's cool. But it's a fun movie. I would recommend it. I am curious to check out House 2 again, because I remember that movie scaring me when I was a kid. I think it has like a Western vibe theme to it in that movie. But yeah, some great special features on this one, guys. Some great artwork. And then Arrow always does the reversible cover art as well, which I'm not going to show that for every single one of these releases. But yeah, House was my first Arrow video, and possibly, I'm pretty sure I got this before Silent Night, Deadly Night, which is my first Scream Factory release. Possibly my first ever boutique Blu-ray. So that's an interesting fact right there. We got House. Next one, this is the second Arrow video title that I bought because I was looking, I think it might have came up in recommendations. I'm like, oh, they have Creepshow 2. I remember that when I was a kid. Interesting fact about this one, I used to watch Creepshow 2 all the time when I was a kid. I love the raft scene. That terrified me when I was a kid. But I never watched the first Creepshow for whatever reason. And just, I don't know, I watched Creepshow 2 all the time. Maybe we didn't have it. Maybe it wasn't at the video store. I don't know. I just never grew up with the first Creepshow. Watched the first Creepshow a couple of years ago. I think like 3 years ago when I got that Scream Factory set. And that movie is definitely superior to this one. That's a masterpiece horror anthology film. This one's really fun though. I like the Indian story at the beginning of it with the Indian statue and the Native American statue and the raft scene and stuff like that. I feel like the third sequence didn't really hold up for me in this one. But it's still a fun movie. But like I said, it's only got 3 stories in it, whereas the first one has 5. And I just think all the ones in the first Creepshow movie are great anthology horror stories. And this one has 2 out of 3 that are pretty good. But it does have that cool Tom Savini like makeup in the beginning where he's in the back of the truck throwing the comic books out and stuff. So yeah, this is a, George A. Romero screenplay, and it wasn't directed by George A. Romero like the first one. I mean, you can kind of tell it just doesn't have that style and substance that the first one has. But Creepshow 2 is still a ton of fun, and I'll recommend it. God, I can't be talking about these movies for that long for every single one of them. I don't want this video to be that long, but knowing me, it'll probably still be, around 30, 40 minutes. But Crimson Peak, this is a really good Guillermo del Toro movie. That I slept on for a long time. I didn't watch this movie when it came out. I didn't watch it until I got this Blu-ray from Arrow Video, I think back in 2019. Really good movie, kind of like a romantic, kind of gothic horror story, with great visuals because Del Toro's known for that kind of stuff. And yeah, I think this one is probably in my upper tier of Guillermo del Toro films. I think I would put this above like the Hellboy movies, Shape of Water. I would probably put it in maybe my top 3 or top 4 Guillermo del Toro films, to be honest. But Crimson Peak is a really good movie. Great cast, too. I mean, it's got Loki in it, Jessica Chastain. So this one I don't remember enjoying at all, The Dead Center. I remember thinking it was kind of like a generic autopsy of Jane Doe. It kind of followed that similar plot point. But yeah, this is one I got in for review, so I watched it. Probably one I wouldn't have ordered on by myself. But I don't know. It's one of those like new Arrow releases. Like Arrow doesn't just do like old new transfers of old movies. Like sometimes they just release like new films that feel like when you're watching them, like they're just like straight to DVD, straight to Blu-ray movies. But Arrow Video kind of remasters them and puts them out or whatever under their label. So yeah, The Dead Center is kind of like one of those things. It's a newer movie, I think made in 2018. So it's okay. It was okay, but I like Autopsy of Jane Doe a little bit better. It kind of follows that similar plot line. But the next one, Edge of the Axe. This is a solid 80s slasher movie with kind of like that computer technology aspect to it. He's like communicating with them on the computer. So you have that old school like green fonts on the computer because it's like computers in the 80s. So it's a little... I don't know. It's a little out there. I feel like it has the mystery elements of the slasher that doesn't like the cover looks so cool, and I don't feel like they ever really truly deliver on this cover throughout the movie. But it's a fun enough 80s slasher movie. I would recommend buying it maybe on a sale or something. It was okay. The next one I haven't seen. This is a Lake Michigan Monster. Really cool cover on this one, but yeah, I really don't know anything about it. When you take it out of here, it has that black and white reversible cover art, which is really cool and kind of reminds me of The Lighthouse, to be honest, kind of like a fantasy horror type of movie. But yeah, I have not seen that one. This one's Burst City. It's kind of like a post-apocalyptic, maybe like sci-fi Japanese film. I'm trying to see what year this came out. 1982 is when this one came out. So yeah, I haven't seen this one. Let me know if I should check it out. Also, yeah, if I haven't seen these movies, let me know if I should watch it like right away. You guys usually do that. But Cinema Paradiso, this is a Spanish film from I think 1980. Trying to say it, 1987, I believe. I can never find the dates on here because sometimes they just don't put them on there. They don't make them visible very well on here. It might not even be on here at all. But yeah, Cinema Paradiso. This is a 4K restoration. I actually have a review for this up on the channel, a very early review, all the way back in January, I think is when I put that out. But I enjoyed this movie. It's a really kind of sweet, emotional story about this boy that goes to work for this older man at like a theater, and he's like a projectionist, and then he's older and he finds out he died and he comes back. It's kind of like the story of him as a kid, and then him as an adult kind of going back and revisiting his childhood. It's a really good movie. It wasn't like a masterpiece. A lot of people are hyping this one up, but it's a solid movie. So Cinema Paradiso is a cool collector's edition in the collection. Also got Black Angel. Don't really know too much about this one. Looks like kind of like a crime noir thriller from the 40s, I think this one was. I gotta stop looking up the dates on the back. We'll just say it's the 40s. We'll say it's the 40s. So cool release. I haven't watched it yet though. We got Dario Argento's Inferno. So this is the foreign release of this one. I think I got this one for cheap at work because I already got that Blue Underground Inferno release. So now I had 2 Inferno copies in my collection. Still haven't watched the movie. Need to watch it because I think it's like the last big Argento film that I haven't seen. We also got A Ghost Waits. This is a really cool cover on this one. This is another one of those like new Arrow Video movies that they put out. I think this is a 2020 movie right here. Really cool slipcover. Kind of looks like a guitar pick right there. So yeah, still need to watch that one. We got The Invisible Man versus the Human Fly. And this is actually, I think, a 2 film collection set. The Invisible Man appears in The Invisible Man versus the Human Fly. Trying to see if it's a 2-disc. Because I think both of the films are on the same disc right here. But you got the one Invisible Man title, and then you flip it over. And you have the other one. So these are Japanese films. I'm trying to see what the year, 1949. So they're fairly old. 1949 is the first one, and then 1957. So these are pretty old films right here. But yeah, got the cover for the other one. It's cool that they have 2 films in one with that set. But I think that one came out this year. But yeah, I haven't got a chance to watch it. Deadly Manor. This is one I recommended, I think, in my Arrow recommendations video. This is kind of like Edge of the Axe, only I thought this one was a little bit better. It's a little sleazier. It's a little grittier. It's shot in that like one location. I just think that it works, has some good atmosphere to it. And I like the mystery element in this movie a little bit better than I think Edge of the Axe. I pair them together, one, because I believe they're directed by the same person. And also I got them both around the same time. So I watched them around the same time. So I just kind of compared the 2. So of the 2, I like this one more than Edge of the Axe. I think it's a solid 80s slasher with some fun mystery elements. This is one of my all-time favorite movies, guys. It's controversial, I know, because The Breakfast Club everybody loves. Some of the other, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. But this is my favorite John Hughes movie. Always will be, and that's Weird Science. I think I recommended this one in my Arrow collection video because I always recommend this. This is a great release from Arrow Video. It's got such great artwork on it. I believe there was a Steelbook that came with this as well with this artwork on it. But yeah, what can you say about this movie? I mean, Kelly LeBrock, she was just like the ultimate like teenage boy fantasy, and they brought her to life. It was just like, I remember watching this movie as a teenage boy and just living vicariously through these characters. Anthony Michael Hall's in this movie. Got a great cast. Got that classic 80s cast. And I just always loved this film. I always loved it when I was a kid. And it's a very relatable film. Because as a teenage boy, who wouldn't want to bring a hot girl to life from a computer, and have her follow you around and make you look cool? I mean, it's such a great, relatable movie. It's super funny. Bill Paxton's in the movie as Chet is awesome. So Weird Science is fantastic. Check it out if you haven't already. We got Southland Tales right here. This is a Richard Kelly film. And I haven't checked this one out. So the same director as Donnie Darko, which we'll get to that set here in a minute. This one has The Rock, Sean William Scott, Sarah Michelle Gellar. Great cast. It's a 2-disc collector set right here. So yeah, I remember this movie coming out, but I didn't remember it being like a sci-fi movie. And it just looks very sci-fi from this cover, like a spiritual. So I don't know. Let me know if Southland Tales worth checking out. I haven't watched it yet, but I need to. I think that one's a 2021 release as well. We got 12 Monkeys right here. This is a classic sci-fi film from the mid-90s, directed by Terry Gilliam. Brad Pitt gives a very interesting performance in this movie. You got Bruce Willis in this movie, Madeline Stowe's in this film. I watched this when it first came out, the Arrow Video release, and then I saw it when I was a kid, obviously. It didn't hold up entirely for me, at least from what I remember, but it was still a pretty good movie. This Arrow release has some really cool cover art on it, so That's some really interesting reversible. And I also think this is one of my very first Arrow video releases. I think I got it on a sale for like $17 or something when it came out. This next one is one in my collection I've been meaning to watch for the longest time. I ordered it when it first came out because the cover looks so cool, and I just never watched it for whatever reason. And this is Alice, Sweet Alice. I believe this is one of Brooke Shields' first films. And yeah, I don't know why I haven't watched this movie yet. It's got cool reversible cover art on it. I need to watch it. I don't know why I haven't watched it yet, but Alice, Sweet Alice, need to watch it soon. I know a lot of people have been saying it's pretty good. This one I actually reviewed on the channel this year. This is a South Korean film. This is JSA, and I believe this is from the early 2000s. Yeah, the year 2000. This is a solid kind of like political war thriller type of movie. That goes in some interesting directions. It's from the same director, Park Chan-wook, who I think did Oldboy, and some other notable South Korean films. But yeah, let me know if I'm wrong. Yeah, Oldboy and The Handmaiden, which The Handmaiden I think was a more recent film, 2016. So it's a really good movie. I would recommend it if you like, the South Korean films, which who doesn't? South Korea is killing it. Parasite, Squid Game on Netflix. They've been killing it. For the past few years. So yeah, Joint Security Area JSA is a really good movie. I would recommend that one. We got The Bloodhound, another newer Arrow video release. This is one I watched. This one's incredibly generic. Like I said, it just feels like one of those like generic like movies, DVD movies, all the DVD movies I show every week at Walmart. It just feels like one of those, like almost like a Dollar Tree title, like that level of generic quality. And yeah, Arrow Video puts these out as releases. So it's an interesting premise and story, but I don't remember too much about it, to be honest, other than it was just incredibly bland and I was bored, and it's only like 70 minutes. So that's saying something. We got the One Missed Call trilogy right here. I've not watched any of these yet, but this is a cool little box set, 3 films in one. I think it's a 3 disc collector set as well. Or it might just be 2. Yeah, might just be 2 for this one. No, I think it's 3 because I think that last one, the discs are stacked in it. But yeah, this is a cool little collector set from Arrow Video. Like I said, these are Japanese horror films, I'm pretty sure, that got adapted later on because I think there's a One Missed Call movie in America, a domestic release. So I don't know. Let me know if these movies are worth checking out because I haven't done so yet. We got The Crazies, the George A. Romero version in these blue cases. And Arrow Video does this now. They're like putting these out. I hate that because it doesn't match the other ones. But there are some Arrow Videos I'm looking to kind of sell off in the collection that are clear cases. So I'll probably replace those before I sell them. But The Crazies, I saw the remake with Timothy Olyphant. Really liked that one. Really enjoyed that one. But I haven't seen the original from George A. Romero. So let me know which one you like the best. But we also got Deep Red from Arrow Video. This is one I'm probably thinking about selling off because I do have that 4K release, and that is a drastic improvement over this one in my opinion. But this is still a great release from Arrow Video. This is a great movie. This is honestly probably, I said it in my review of the 4K, this might be my favorite Argento movie. I think it's like the best, probably the purest Giallo film. And I think it's just a great movie. It's scary, it's suspenseful, it's thrilling. It's just everything. It's a great mystery. It's a great payoff. Love Deep Red. Absolutely recommend that one. Pick up the 4K though. We also got The Stuff. I watched this during this year, during my 31 days of boutique Blu-rays this year. I talked about this on another video, but this is my first Larry Cohen movie, and this is kind of like a tongue-in-cheek like Blob movie, but it's almost like a spoof kind of movie, but it's also taken a little bit serious in parts. It's a fun movie. Just kind of how they do like the product placement stuff and the commercials for it and all that stuff. And it's stacked. It's really kind of going into, I guess, like consumerism and stuff like that. And those themes that were present in the 80s with Reaganomics and all that stuff. You could just tell they had something important to say here with this movie, but they were also giving it that, tongue-in-cheek kind of spoof-like quality. But The Stuff is a good movie. It's a good horror movie. I would recommend it. I had a lot of fun with it. We also got The Cat o' Nine Tails. Is another one I probably need to sell off because I got the 4K of that one in the collection right here. So I didn't love this movie. I didn't even review it because I honestly just didn't feel like I had that much to say about it. It's honestly, it's probably my least favorite Argento at this point. The guy that falls into the train is probably like the most interesting part of the movie, but Cat o' Nine Tails, I didn't love that one. But we'll get to it later because I got the 4Ks of a lot of these. The Stylist, this is a solid movie. I got more to say about this in another video that may have already dropped or may be dropping I don't know what my schedule is going to be, guys, but like I said, I'm pre-recording a lot of this stuff. But the stylist is good. The stylist is good, so look for my review of that, or talk about in an upcoming video. The Snake Girl and the Silver Hair Witch, just got this one in. I think it's like a 60s Japanese horror film. So looking forward to watching that one at some point. Children of the Corn, got a review for this up on the channel, so go check that out if you want to see it. I've never been a big fan of Children of the Corn. I just never have been, and this 4K didn't change my mind. It's a really good transfer, but yeah, just make sure you're a fan of Children of the Corn before you get this. I think it's honestly one of the more weaker Stephen King adaptations, in my opinion. We got the Brotherhood of Satan, so this is a really cool cover on this one. And this is like a 70s, I think, horror movie. So I need to watch this one because I'm definitely intrigued by this one. Definitely intrigued. This is another one of those new Arrow video releases that I just didn't think hit. This felt very bland and generic. Threshold. The ending's crazy, like the scene that they show, but it's not crazy enough for me to recommend buying this. So Threshold, very generic. I wouldn't recommend it. The acting is horrible. Death Screams. This is an 80s slasher film that I don't know. It just doesn't feel like, pardon the pun, but it has it on the cover. It just doesn't feel like it has any teeth. It feels extremely gritty and grungy and almost of grindhouse quality. It's got like, what am I trying to say? It's got adult film stars in the movie. It's okay. It's okay, but not really worth a purchase. This cover is really cool though, like the teeth and you pull it out. That's pretty awesome. Death Scream's all right. It's okay. I feel like I've talked about that one before. Let's get into my Steelbook. I got a Dune Steelbook. I've shown this off on a video recently with some new pickups. So this is a really cool Steelbook that I'm happy to add to the collection. We also have my Reanimator Steelbook from Arrow Video. This is a Blu-ray Steelbook right here. Really cool edition. And this movie I watched for the first time, I think 2 or 3 years ago as well. Absolutely love this movie. This is probably one of my favorite 80s horror movies now. Definitely one of my favorite, because I would almost call this a zombie movie. You know, in nature, it's essentially like a zombie type movie. So this is probably one of my favorite zombie movies at this point. I love this movie. Barbara Crampton's great in this movie. You got, what's the guy's name from The Frighteners? I'm blanking on his name. But I don't know. Maybe it'll come to me. It'll come to me. I don't, like I said, I don't want to do much editing for this video, so I'm not going to say. Jeffrey Combs. There you go. Jeffrey Combs. I remembered his name. He's great in the movie. And also, if you haven't seen From Beyond, that's another really great Stuart Gordon film, who also directed Reanimator. It's also got Barbara Crampton and Jeffrey Combs in it. So let's get into my big box Arrow sets. And this, I didn't realize how many of these had. I'll hold this up, and hopefully they don't all fall out of my hands. But my God, look at these. Look at these. Oh my God, it's so nice. Arrow Video, man, this is where Arrow Video truly shines for me, is with these big collector's edition box sets. It really just kind of showcases why I think they're the best in the business right now when it comes to these boutique Blu-rays, because they do work like this, like trimmers, like this box set, which I don't think you can get this anymore. A lot of these, like, you have to get on the first run or you're going to miss out on these big box sets. If you want them, you're going to have to pay like top dollar on eBay. But this trimmer set is so nice, and they always do such good work. Usually the model for it is you have the Arrow case, you have a poster, and then you have like a big booklet in there. So that's like the model for a lot of these collector sets, and they just do such great work. This 4K release of Tremors is honestly like probably one of the best 4K releases of last year. It looks amazing. I have a review for this on the channel as well. The special features are fantastic. They got Kevin Bacon to come back and film an interview, which is really cool. So yeah, I love the Tremors set, and I just love these big box sets. You're gonna hear me gush about them a lot. This next one, this is one of the best big box sets that Arrow Video has released all year. But there was an issue with this 4K release of Donnie Darko and a disc replacement. I didn't notice the frame rate issues on my theatrical cut, which I think is the one that was having the issue. So I never opted for the disc replacement, but I know a lot of people did. So this is definitely like a great release that came out that was botched a little bit by that frame rate issue. So right here you got the disc, and this is a previous release. But what's cool about this one is for most of these sets you get like a little booklet, but this one's like a thick hardback book in here, which is really awesome. So they just gave this one the full the full treatment. And yeah, this is the biggest, I think, of all the box sets that I have here in the collection, I think from that big hardback book. So it's the thickest. Yeah, I love this set. It's such a nice set. The Donnie Darko set. We also have an American Werewolf in London. I believe this is one of my first like big box set Arrow releases. Well, no, the next one I think is my first one. But and I just really like started to notice just how great the work that Arrow Video was doing. Love this release. The transfer is awesome. The set is awesome. The special features are awesome. I love this movie. It's like my top 50 movies of all time. But the American Werewolf in London set, I can't say enough good things about. Love it. We also got Waterworld. Don't sleep on Waterworld. I love Waterworld. A lot of people make fun of this movie, mostly for, I think, Dennis Hopper's kind of outlandish villain performance, which he has like a dozen of those in the 80s and 90s. Just look up how many, cheesy villainous performances Dennis Hopper did in that time. I mean, you got Speed, you got Super Mario Brothers, Blue Velvet he's in. Like, he's the villain in so many movies. They just kind of typecast him in those movies. But this is a great set. Like I said, great poster, great booklet in here. It's got a bunch of different cuts. Got the theatrical cut, director's cut, Ulysses cut, TV cut. Just all kinds of cuts on this. It's a 3-disc set. So really cool addition by Arrow Videos, this Waterworld set. And I think Waterworld's super fun. I think it's underrated. I think a lot of people talk crap about it because it does get a little ridiculous at times. But I think it's fun. This right here, guys, might be the best 4K release of the year. I'm going to be honest. It's a 60s Western film, an Italian spaghetti Western. This is Django. I love this movie. I love the fact that Quentin Tarantino kind of paid tribute to this movie when he made the new one. But the new one has like a very different type of storyline and characters and stuff to follow. But he definitely kind of took this template. And I love this movie. I thought this was super fun. Carrying around this machine gun turret thing in a coffin and just taking everybody out in the end. It's fun. And the 4K remaster work by Arrow Video on this one was so good. It took my breath away. It's like a movie made in the 60s. How can it look that good? It just looked incredible. Like the HDR was incredible. Just the way like the sand and stuff looked in the desert, the way the facial detail looked. It was so good. This is like one of the best 4K releases of the year. So if you didn't buy Django, definitely buy Django. I think it's a super fun movie with a great transfer. We also have The Hills Have Eyes 4K. I just reviewed this one on the channel, so if you want to see my thoughts, go check that out. I got The Hills Have Eyes Part 2, this box set. Funny story about this one. I wouldn't have ordered this one on my own because I hadn't even seen the first Hills Have Eyes at this point. But I got it because I found this at Target, which Target does sell Arrow Videos, which I have since found out that they do. But I wouldn't have bought it, but I found it in Target for like 17 bucks. I just went and scooped it up. I thought it was really cool to find a Arrow box set in Target. That never happened to me before. So I bought this one a long time ago. Still haven't watched it because, like I said, I've never seen the first one. But now that I've seen the first one, maybe it's time to watch the second one. Phantom of the Mall, Eric's Revenge. Fun 80s cheesy slasher film. I got a review for this on the channel recently, so go check that one out if you haven't already. The Bird with the Crystal Plumage 4K, the first Dario Argento film in 4K, and I believe his first film ever as well. So this is a really good movie. It's not like my top Argento films, but it's a really solid film. It's a good starting point for that director, I would say. Got a review for this one up on the channel too, so go check that one out as well. A lot of these I have reviewed because I am in a partnership with Arrow Videos, so I do like to review a lot of the stuff that I get in from them. The Cat O' Nine Tails, never got a chance to review this one because, like I said, I got it a little bit late and the moment had kind of passed, and when I watched it, I was like, it's okay. I just didn't love the movie, didn't have a lot to say about it. The transfer on it was pretty good, but honestly, it was another one. It was probably the weakest of the new Argento 4Ks, the weakest of any of the Argento films in 4K that I've seen yet. So yeah, The Cat O' Nine Tails, it's okay. It's probably my least favorite Argento film at this point. Deep Red right here, guys. This is honestly, I would say, top 5 4K releases of the year. I think Deep Red is a phenomenal transfer. It's definitely the best this film has ever looked. If you have never seen Deep Red, like, you will be blown away by this transfer. So great. And this movie also as well. It's one of the greatest like mystery slasher Giallo films of all time. Deep Red, highly recommend. This box set is incredible. I love all the Argento box sets that came out. We also got Dune in 4K. Great transfer, but the movie itself is, I don't know. There's just something about this story that just doesn't hook me. I didn't love the remake either. So I don't know. And this one's just very like, it's very goofy. It's very goofy, very 80s. It looked really great though in 4K. So if you're a fan of the movie, I would recommend picking that one up. So now I have 2 copies of Dune. Another one I have 2 copies of is Legend. So I have the original Arrow release and I have the collector's edition of Legend because I did an unboxing for this recently. You'll see why I have 2 releases of this, but yeah, really cool, really fun movie, really fun like 80s fantasy movie. So I recommend Legend. I think it's a fun 80s movie. So let's get into my box sets real quick, guys. I'm gonna try to get this done before the 40-minute mark. I'm going to try to get it done. But I got the Demons Arrow sets, which I got this one at a discounted price as well. So I haven't felt compelled to grab that new Blue Underground 4K set, even though I love the cover art on it and I've heard great things about it. But I haven't watched these yet. It's a really awesome set because it kind of opens like this. Not a lot of the Arrow videos open like that. And it's got like the Willy Wonka golden ticket inside. I know there's other context to it, but inside like you've got, you know, these 2 cases for the 2 movies. It's just really great work. You got a cool poster right here. So yeah, it's just really interesting how this is packaged. So very unique. So I like the packaging on this one. Let me get this back in here. Let me get this one back in here. And yeah, this is a 2-film set, Demons 1 and 2. Haven't checked them out yet. Heard great things. I know I need to. As with a lot of these movies, I need to check them out. The Years of Lead collection. This is a 5-film collector set. Right here, this is a really cool set. I love the artwork on it. Did an unboxing for this on the channel. I watched one of these movies. I can't remember which one I watched. It might have been this one, but it has No, the Case is Happily Resolved. It's got Highway Racer and Colt 38. And it's got Savage 3 and Like Rabid Dogs. I can't remember, though, which one I watched. It might have been No, the Case is Happily Resolved, but it does have 2 films on 1 disc, so I don't love that, but it's still a great release. These are kind of like noir thrillers, like crime thrillers from Italy in the 70s, I believe. So it's a genre that I haven't dove into yet, but Arrow's always just doing some really interesting releases like this. And this is a really great box set, really thick. Like Arrow doesn't always do the thick packaging on these box sets, as we'll see with a couple of these as we get into them. But I really love this set. I need to dive into it. But the one I watched was a really interesting thriller, really good mystery thriller. So I need to watch the other 4, maybe do a review at some point. So I do want to dive more deeper into some of these box sets. I just haven't had the time to get through them all. This next one's the Bill Rebane collection. This is 8 movies in this set. This is a great looking set, great artwork on that cover. It's got 4 movies in it. One thing that I don't love, I like the Years of Lead collection because they're all like the traditional Arrow video cases. But when they do these like little thin cases, they just feel so thin and flimsy, and I don't really love them. But yeah, you got 8 movies in here. It might just be 6. It might be 6 movies and then a documentary. So yeah, you got 6 movies on here. You got The Alpha Incidents, The Demons of Lodo, Monster of Go-Go, Invasion of Inner Earth, The Game, Twister's Revenge. And then you got Who is Bill Rebane? So that's like a documentary. And then you got some posters and a cool like hardback book in there as well. So there's another hardback book appearance in the collection. So yeah, I would have rather them just made it just a little bit thicker. Maybe didn't do the hardback book. Maybe did just a regular booklet and then made these like better cases. I don't know. But yeah, the Bill Rebane collection is still a great set from Arrow Video. I think it's down to like $60. So yeah, I'm not familiar with Bill Rebane, so I can't speak too much on his movies. I haven't watched one of them yet. We got the Giallo Essentials collection with 3 really cool Giallos. I love how this, any of the Arrow sets that have that circle in the middle, I think it's super cool. Any sets in general. But I love this one because it does have the original Arrow cases as well. You got the 5th Chord in here. You got the Possessed, and you got the Pajama Girl case. So haven't got a chance to dive into this one yet, but I'm hoping to soon as well. So I'll put these back in. But yeah, this is another great set, another recent set by Arrow Video. Did an unboxing recently on this channel. So most of these I have unboxings for. This is the Damange Trilogy collector set. This is another really cool one that has like some really interesting packaging on it. So yeah, I did an unboxing recently for this one, so I'm not going to go too in depth with this one. But some really cool artwork on it as well. We have the Sergio Martino collection, which is a really cool collector set, another collection of Giallo films. But you have the Suspicious of Death Minor, you have Your Vice is a Locked Room, and Only I Have the Key, and you have The Case of the Scorpion's Tail. So some really cool titles. that I need to dive into from Sergio Martino, who I think also did Torso. I think he also did Torso as well. And I believe that's getting a Giallo Essentials Part 2, I think, is coming out in December with his titles in it. But I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it is. Then I got He Came from the Swamp, the Willem Griffey collection. So this is another like director's collection set, kind of like the Bill Rebane collection. These look like very low budget, just weird like cult type movies. I don't know what you would call them exactly, but yeah, they're just very campy sounding. You got Sting of Death, Curse of Tartu right here. You got Hooked, the Hook Generation, the Psychedelic Priest right here. You got the Naked Zoo and Mako, Jaws of Death. So there's like a Jaws film in there. And then you got Whiskey Mountain and They Came from the Swamp right here. So, yeah, I don't know much about, you know, Willem Griffey either. So I need to get into this one. This is a set right here that I'm hoping to tackle some of these during my Western month, which I'm going to be doing. I've been talking about that all year. But in January, I'm going to be doing Western month on the channel. I'm going to be doing a lot of themed months in 2022. It's just stuff that it's something I want to get more into with you guys. So the Vengeance Trails right here is a really cool like spaghetti Western set from Arrow Video. I love the artwork on this. It's so freaking phenomenal. But we got Massacre Time. We got My Name is Picos. We got Banditos. And we got And God Said to Cain. So I'm not really that familiar with any of these movies, but one of them is a Lucio Fulci film. So I'm definitely looking forward to diving into that for the first time because he's more known for horror films and not Westerns. So I'm excited to check that one out for the first time. So with that, guys, that's it. That is my Western collection. You also get this really cool booklet in there as well. Kind of has like a glossy cover. Not a lot of these have the glossy covers on them, and then you get a poster. So, but that is my entire Arrow Video collection set. Like I said, it's like, I think it's somewhere around 55 titles, like sets in total, and then probably close to 80 or 90 movies with those collector's box sets. So definitely some cool titles, some stuff that I had things to say on some of them because I've seen them, and a lot of them I haven't seen yet. I know I need to get on the ball and watch more films, but it's hard with the channel, making videos, watching movies. I do the best that I can, guys. I do the best that I can. But with that, guys, we are done with this collector's video. Hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit the like button, comment. I hope you commented as many times as you want. Like I said, comment all you want about these films. I love hearing your guys' recommendations and your thoughts on these movies in the comment section below, and just how appalled you are that I haven't seen some of them. I love reading those comments as well. So appreciate you guys watching. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel, turn on those bell notifications for all future videos, and I'll see you next time.